Growth stage private companies often reach a critical point where they generate millions in annual revenue and possess a compelling narrative. The natural assumption is that a strong set of internal financials is all it takes to secure the next round of capital. But the friction these companies hit rarely has to do with the quality of their performance. The barrier is data provenance. No one outside the company's walls can independently verify those internal numbers. This contrast is visible when engaging new capital. Instead of picking up where business left off, management must completely rebuild their data room from scratch. The result is the 60-day diligence tax. Institutions spend months forensically recreating a company's past rather than modeling its future growth. In private markets, when counterparties cannot easily confirm the data, they do not simply debate it, they discount it. A standard reporting gap transforms directly into a financial penalty. This lack of verified data creates immediate internal friction. During board meetings, directors end up debating whether the numbers are accurate and where they came from, completely sidelining conversations about actual company strategy. When it is time to execute a deal, that same friction stalls momentum. Capital providers spend critical weeks running manual checks on basic historical performance, draining administrative resources and delaying the process. This chart maps the flow from an unverified data room directly to 3 specific outcomes. By the time a deal finally reaches the finish line, the lingering uncertainty gets priced in. That means founders absorb haircut valuations, tighter covenants, and unnecessary dilution. Operating without independent verification creates a compounding loss of leverage. By the time negotiations begin, the founder's position is already weakened by the structural uncertainty of their own data. Public markets actually confronted this exact crisis of trust a little over a century ago, when investors had no reliable way to verify corporate claims. This is John Moody's 1909 bond certificate, introducing a standardized framework for public debt. The financial sector adopted it voluntarily because clarity accelerates capital allocation. Yet modern private markets still operate in a pre-1909 environment, forcing companies to rebuild trust from zero. Breaking this bottleneck requires abandoning the custom spreadsheet approach. The private sector needs a unified, portable standard of trust that moves with the company. This is where QuantPillar enters, acting as the institutional proof layer for private markets. It is engineered to take raw financial data and translate it into verified, actionable decisions. The foundational step in this process is maintaining the numbers. The system keeps internal metrics continuously live and board-ready, removing the need for manual reporting scrambles. Those internal numbers are then processed through a validation layer. They are elevated into institutional-grade, expert-signed metrics, generating exact outputs like 409A valuations and solvency opinions. This interface breaks down the anatomy of the capital passport. It consolidates these expert-signed metrics and live verification scores into a single, shareable link that houses the company's complete financial identity. This radar visualization illustrates the external advantage of the NICI index ranking. Because the company's performance is independently verified and benchmarked, it acts as a beacon, making the business visible to institutional credit and growth equity that are actively looking to deploy capital. With this architecture in place, founders stop playing defense. Instead of struggling to prove their history, they use a verified identity to run the process. When a complete lender and investor package is pre-staged and verified a full 12 months before you actually need to raise, the entire capital acquisition timeline changes. This graphic shows the direct mathematical impact of that preparation. The volatile friction of traditional diligence is smoothed out and compressed, from months down to a matter of days. This matrix shows how the capital passport functions as a universal translator. Rather than building 3 separate data rooms, one independent source of truth satisfies the specific demands of board members, credit lenders, and strategic acquirers simultaneously. By removing the back-and-forth friction on day 1, the company remains always fundable. The chaotic mid-deal scramble for historical data is permanently eliminated. That same continuous verification also secures the eventual exit. Following a deal close, a significant portion of M&A disputes arise from representations and warranties claims attacking the validity of the financials. This timeline illustrates the core defense mechanism. By building a time-stamped independent record long before the negotiations begin, a protective shield is established that extends well past the deal close. This interface allows a seller to convey that comprehensive institutional clarity instantly, the exact moment a counterparty opens the link. Premium verification converts administrative burden into executive command. It eliminates controller fire drills and returns focus to growth, ensuring the narrative stays firmly under the founder's control. You no longer have to ask investors to trust your numbers. You walk into every room already verified, dictating the timeline and commanding the outcome on your own terms.